Assalamu alaikum. Welcome 7th class in the Lasanian virtual classes of second semester. I am hopeful you are all fine. I am your English teacher and here is the working of day 3 and 4. So let's start the working. Here are the words meaning. The first one is crime, जुर्म, immediately, जल्दी से, politeness, नरमी या शाइस्तगी, peace, अमन या सुकून, fog, धुंध, attention, तवज्जो, kindness, मेहरबानी, particularly, ख़ास तौर पर, horror, खौफ या डर, observe, मुशाहिदा करना, describe, बयान करना, appeared, नमूदार हुआ या ज़ाहिर हुआ, strange, अजीब, and the last one is gloomy, उदास या गमगीन. Here is the first question. What phrase does the author use at the start of the text to show the reader that time has passed nearly a year later? Who were the two men involved in the crime and how did the witness feel about each of them? The two men involved in the crime were the victim, Sir Dover's Crew, and the criminal, Mr. Hyde. The maid did not like Mr. Hyde. The maid admired the old gentleman for his very pretty manner of politeness and his face which to her seemed so innocent and full of kindness. The next is which type of animal is the angry murder compared to? An ape. What is Mr. Utterson's profession? Mr. Utterson is a lawyer. The next one is what was Mr. Utterson's reaction to hearing about the crime and seeing the weapon? Mr. Utterson quailed when he heard about the crime and saw the weapon. He looks serious and feels gloomy. The word quailed means to feel or show fear or apprehension. What do we learn about the old woman who works for Mr. Hyde? She is described as an older woman who had an evil face smoothed by hypocrisy, but her manners were excellent. She has a flash of hateful joy on her face when she realizes that Mr. Hyde might be in trouble. The next one is why it will be difficult from the inspector and Mr. Culverton's son to find Mr. Hyde. It would be difficult for the inspector and Mr. Utterson to find Mr. Hyde because few people knew him and he had no family, had never been photographed, had not been seen often and was described in widely different ways by those who had seen him. Which words meanings searched vigorously is used to describe the state of Mr. Hyde's rooms ransacked. Here the next one. What details are the given in the text that show us in the witness character? Pick out three pieces of evidence and explain what they are tell about character. The maid is sensitive, but she also seemed to be dramatic and to have a vivid imagination. It appears that she was fanciful. She was narrated that experience. She exaggerated the impact and enjoys telling that dramatic story, but it could be that it had a big impact on her. Never had she felt more at peace with all men or thought more kindly of the world at the horror of these sights and sounds. It was 2 o'clock when she came to herself and called for the police. The next is who is angry? Mr. Hyde. Who is angry with Sir Danvers Carew? Does he have any reason to be angry? Not according to the witness. And the next is how does the maid describe his behavior? His behavior is like that of a madam with ape-like furry. Who is the speaker? Inspector Newcomer of Scotland Yard. Who is being spoken to? Mr. Utterson. And here is the last question. What does he mean and why it make a deal of noise? His means that it will be cause a sensation and be talked about and written about in the news. This is because the victim is an important man, Sir Danvers Carew. So dear students, that's all about my today's working. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.